we're going to get some more practice on combining these polynomials. So let's just run through these. Let's do it kind of quickly here. We have this binomial minus this binomial. Let's eliminate the parentheses. So this set of parentheses preceded by no sign at all, so we can just remove them. 3c minus 5. But this set of parentheses preceded by a minus sign, so I can remove them, but I have to change the sign of each term inside. So we're going to get plus 5c and then minus 6. Now, count them up. C's. There's 3 of them here, and I add 5, right? So 3 C's and 5 more, 8 C's. And then, what about this? I'm down 5, and I lose 6 more, so I'm down 11 now. Now we've got a 4-term polynomial minus another 4-term polynomial. Let's remove the parentheses, so we're going to get 3x squared minus 4x minus 3x cubed plus 3. Now this set of parentheses, the second set, is preceded immediately by a minus sign. So I'm going to remove the parentheses, but I'm going to change the sign of every term inside. So this 5x squared will become minus 5x squared. This negative 8x, or minus 8x, will become positive 8x. So plus 8x, and then plus 3x cubed, and then minus 4. Let's count common terms here, so like terms. So what about these x squareds? X squareds, I've got 3 of them, and then over here, we lose 5, right? I've got 3 of them here, then we lose 5, so now I'm at negative 2x squared, and then x's, I'm down 4, and then I get 8. So down 4, I get 8, negative 4 plus 8 is plus 4x, and then x cubes. Well, I'm down 3, and then I get 3. All right, so we're even on those, so no more x cubes. I was down 3, and then I got 3. So 0 x cubes. Now where are we? Now we're at just the constant. So I've got 3, then I subtract 4, so I'm at minus 1. There we go. Now here in number 3, we have 1, 2, 3 4-term polynomials. So let's remove the parentheses. No sign at all, so I can just remove them. Plus sign, I can just remove them. Plus sign, I can just remove them. So why don't we just do this? Instead of writing that step, we know we can just remove them. Why don't we just count them up? So what do we have for x's? I've got 2. Then I'm going to add 6, so now I'm at 8. And then I lose 3, right? So 2 plus 6 is 8. Minus 3 is 5, so I've got 5 x's. Now, what about the y's? Here's the y's. I start with 5. Then I lose 2, so now I'm down to 3. Then I get 1 more, so I'm now up at 4. So I got 4 y's. Now, what about z's? Well, I start with 1. Then I lose 1, so now I'm at 0 z's. But then I lose 4. So I'm down 4, right? I'm at what? 1 minus 1 is 0, and then minus 4. So I'm down 4 z's. Let me try that again. Down 4 z's. And then constants. I'm down 8. I get 9, so I'm up at 1. And then I lose 3, so I'm down 2. In number 4, we've got a 4-term polynomial plus another 4-term polynomial. So I can just remove the parentheses, right? Because this set of parentheses preceded by no sign. This set of parentheses here preceded by a plus sign. So let's just count things up. All right, here's what I'm going to do. How many of these x squared y's? Well, I start with 3. Then I'm going to subtract 5, right? I start with 3. I lose 5, so I'm down 2. So I've got negative 2x squared y's. Now what about these 2 xy squareds, right? X squared y and xy squareds are different. So xy squareds, I'm down 2. Then what? Then we lose 3 more. So now I'm down 5. So minus 5 xy squareds. And then what about the xy's, all right? Xy's. I've got 3. I start with 3. Then I get 5 more, so I'm up 8. So I've got plus 8xy. And constants? negative 5, I'm down 5, and then I get 9. So negative 5 plus 9 is plus 4. All right, now here in number 5, I've got a 4-term polynomial minus another 4-term polynomial. So let's remove the parentheses first. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So it will be 5p squared plus 6pq minus 4q squared plus 6. Now in this set, when I remove this set, I'm going to have to change every sign inside, right? Because this set is preceded by a minus sign. So let's just change all these signs. So we will get minus 9p squared minus 4pq minus 17q squared, and then a plus 2. Now let's total up the like terms here. Let's start out in the front. We got p squared. How many? We got 5 of them. Then what? Anything else? Oh, we lose 9, right? I start with 5, and over here it says we lose 9. So 5p squareds minus 9p squareds, there's negative 4p squareds. And now what about these pq's? Well, we start with 6. Any more of them? Oh, then we lose 4, right? So we start with 6, we lose 4, so we're down to 2, plus 2pq's. Then what? I've got q squared, so I start with, I'm down 4 already. So q squared, so I'm down 4. Then I lose 17 more. So now I'm down 21. So minus 21 q squareds. And then constants, there's a 6 and 2 more. So we got an 8. Okay. Number 6, now we're going to make a multiplication. So I've got this binomial being multiplied by this binomial. Now, here's how I do these. I'm going to start here with this 8, with this x, and I'm going to multiply all the way through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute like this. This x times that x, this x times the negative 5. So I'm going to have this. First up, x times x, that's x squared. Then this x, positive x times negative 5. Positive times negative is negative, and I'm going to get a negative 5x. All right, so I took this x, I took this x through the whole term over here, that whole factor. Now, what about this 8? Move over to the 8. I'm going to distribute that. So I'm going to have this 8 is going to go to that x, then it's going to that 5. So what do we get here? Positive 8 times positive x is plus 8x. You know what? I'm going to keep everything that same color. So it's going to be plus 8x. And then positive 8 times negative 5, negative 40. Almost done. Combine those x's. So we'll have x squared. Now how many x's do we have? I'm down 5, and then I add 8, so I'm up 3. So plus 3x minus 40. Now there's going to be a time when you practice a few of these that you can just do this directly. Here's what I'm thinking. X squared. Okay, and then do this in your head. You get negative 5x's plus 8x's plus 3x's. And then plus 8 times negative 5 minus 40. Number 7. Binomial times binomial. So let's multiply. I'll start with a w, and I'm going to run it through all the way over here. So I'm going to get this w times that w. That'll be a w squared. And then this w times positive 5. All right, positive w times positive 5 is plus 5w. All right, so I'm done with a w. Now, move over to the 4. Positive 4 times positive w is plus 4w. And then positive 4 times positive 5 plus 20. And then we got some w's we can combine, right? I got 5 of them here. There's 5 w's here. I add 4 more, that gives me 9 of them. So I get w squared plus 9w plus 20. Number 8. Binomial times binomial. I'm going to start with this 6a and run it through. All right, so what are we going to have? 6a times a. Well, a times a is a squared, so I'll get 6a squared, and then the 6a, run it through, times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, so I get 12a's. All right, so I get plus 12a's. Right, it's plus because I got a positive 6 times positive 2 is positive 12a. All right, so we've run this 6a through both terms. Now, move over to the 5. So 5 times the a, well, that's 5a, so let's just indicate it, 5a. And then what? The 5 times the 2, well, that's a 10. All right, so now what? We've got 6a squared, and then what do we have here? I got 12a's, 5 more is 17 of those, and then plus 10. Number 9, binomial times binomial. Let's start here with the 3x. I'm going to run it over here and here. All right, so we will get, first of all, 3x times 3x. How about 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. And then 3x times y. Well, I can't really multiply them, but I can indicate it. I'll have 3x times y. Now, move over to the 5y. I'll have 5y times 3x. So this is going to give me 5 times 3 is 15 yx. All right, yx, I'll write it, yx, but that's the same as xy, right? Multiplication is commutative, which means I can just switch the order. So yx, same as xy. And then over here, 5y times y, well, I'll get 5. Y times y is y squared. So let's count these things up now. I get 9x squared, and then what? Right here, I've got 3 of these xy's, and then I'm going to add 15 more. So I'm to 18xy's. And then I've got that 5y squared out there. Number 10, let's run through here. Now maybe we're to the point where we can see what's going to happen. I'm going to run the 4t through. So what do I get? I get 4t times 3t. All right, 4t times 3t is 12. T times t is t squared. Now the 4t times 2. The 4 times 2 is an 8, but I have t's. So this is going to be 8t. Now move over to the 5. It's negative. So negative 5 times positive 3t. Negative 5 times positive 3 is negative 15. But I have t's. And then negative 5 times positive 2 is minus 10. Negative 10. And then I can combine these two middle terms. So we'll get 12t squared. Now 8t's minus 15. You start with 8, you lose 15, you're down 7 t's. 8 minus 15 is negative 7. Minus 10. Now, number 11, we're going to square this binomial, x plus 12. Okay? Now, here's what it actually looks like. X plus 12 times x plus 12. So if we do this, we're going to get x times x is x squared. And then over here, we get x times 12 is 12x. All right, so I ran the x through. X times x is x squared. X times 12 is 12x. Now move over to the 12. You get positive 12 times positive x, which is 12x. And then 12 times 12. All right, I'm going to write it like this for now, because I want to show you something. Oh, that's a 12x. So look what you have here. You have x squared plus, now this is not normally how I would do this, but I'm going to write it this way so you can see the shortcut. Plus what? I've got 12x and 12x, so I double that. I've got double that 12x. And then I've got 12 squared. All right, now here's the shortcut for doing these. This comes up a lot, and you want to just run it from here, just write the answer. So here's what you do. You square the first, x squared, all right? So when you have two terms and you're going to square it, you square the first. That does not look like, let me fix this. That doesn't look like a 2. I'll make it a 2, all right? So you square the first. Then you multiply these two together, all right? Multiply the two together, 12x, there it is, but you double it, right? Because what do? You have x times 12, and then you have x times 12. So you have two of those, so you double it. So multiply these two together and double it. And then what? That last one, you square it. All right, so here's how it works. You square the first, you multiply the two together, 12x, and double it. Double 12x, you get 24x. And square the last. 12 squared, 144. Number 12, we're squaring two terms. So I know what to do here. I'm going to square the first. So square the first. I get 81x squared, right? Square the first. Now multiply these together and double it. So multiply them together. I get positive 9 times negative 5 is negative 45x. Negative 45x, but double it. Double 45, you get 90. So minus 90x. Right, here's what I did. I squared the first, so square this. You get 81x squared. Multiply them together. I get negative 45x. Double it. Negative 90x. And then square the last. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Number 13, again, we're squaring this binomial. So we want to do this quickly. So we know the little shortcut rule. Square the first, multiply the two together, double it, square the last. So square the first. 5x times 5x, 25x squared. Multiply the two together. 5 times 6 is 30, xh. Double it. Double 30, you get 60xh. And square the last. Square this one. 6h times 6h is 36h squared. Now I'm really okay, but you see this one right here? We typically write variables in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to rewrite it like this. 25x squared plus 6d hx plus 36h squared. Either one of these are okay. This is probably the one that is more common. Number 14, we're squaring a binomial again, so we're going to get a lot of practice at this. So we have a pattern. Square the first, multiply the two together, double it, square the last. All right, so square the first. 6a times 6a, 36a squared. Multiply the two together, and then double it. So multiply them together. Positive 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. You double negative 42, you're at negative 84, and you've got the a and the b. And then square the last. Square a negative, it becomes positive. Negative 7b times negative 7b is plus 49b squared.